Dan Lauletta join us from time to time during the course of the evening. Now played forward for Chicago here. Early stage, just second minute, and this will go out. You will see some discolored patches as they're working to re-sod the field, if you will. But the field does, walk down it before everybody warmed up, and the field looks fine for playing tonight.
Yes, in much better shape than it was in that first game, Brett, as you mentioned before. And needless to say, the rain has really softened it up since the last game that the Sky Blue team played here 2 weeks ago, which is going to allow them to use their technical abilities a little bit better. Rain softens it up.
This is a long ball. By the way, if you're wondering, you will see if we get a wide shot at some point, there are a lot of blue skies around, but there are also a lot of storm clouds that you will not see behind us. We're on the outskirts of a storm that's going to be rolling through. And our hopes is that it stays away from us and we're able to put in a full 90. Sky Blue has it own third now.
You see them trying to build up possession, Brett, trying to take the air out of the ball, try to find feet of the flank players just to get a little rhythm going in the offensive areas through the midfield. And that's really key in the early stages of this game. Which team is going to come out and be more confident, try to attack, try to get numbers forward and really be committed. And as you mentioned before, since the rain has been in this area, the slick field is going to play a little bit greasy. High levels of concentration are going to be needed in order for these players not to make a mental mistake that could lead to a half-chance opportunity for either team.
For the moment, while we continue to take care of difficulties, I'll turn the play-by-play over to Eric Studnicki.
And you can see Sky Blue just happy to let the direct ball played from the Chicago Stars stay compact. Let the attack come to them, not really pressing in that final third area. Seeing if the Stars are going to come out and try to institute some sort of attacking play. As that ball is played out wide to Devana, who's really been their most dynamic player this season thus far. Really creative, making the runs, getting the good situations and good positions to try to lead this team in the attack. As that ball goes out of bounds, it's going to be Red Stars' ball. That ball is played across, but once again, a little bit too short. Mistake there by Cameron. That ball pops out, and unluckily for Sky Blue, they didn't concede an early goal, as I just mentioned. The field plays wet. There you saw the mistake made. Luckily, Sky Blue wasn't punished as the counterattack is on. Devana in the wide left position. Devana looks to go 1v1, and she's going to be fouled there. And once again, as I mentioned, that's what she brings to the table. Her mobility and creativity there draws the foul in a dangerous situation. But really, on the other end, as I mentioned before, Sky Blue got away with one there on the bobble, which led to that quick counterattack opportunity, and now they're going to have a chance at a set piece of their own. So early on, first 4 minutes, a really important chance, Brett, for this Sky Blue team to try to capitalize on.
Very dangerous opportunity here, and I'll be dashing in and out trying to resolve some technical issues. Looks like Adams is over the ball. 4 in the wall here for Chicago.
And Adams has to try to put a curl around that wall.
And now here comes a 5th. Let's see if she does what you say. Adams curls it, but well over the bar. Goal kick for Chicago.
Yeah, on nights like this, you'd like to see that ball driven low into the ground. Make the goalie make the save, Brett. Make them interact, perhaps a bobble, a half chance, as we saw on the other end. So far, both teams having good opportunities. Neither team able to capitalize in the first 5 minutes, which is really a key to a good start for the game for both sides. You can't concede an early goal.
This one played midfield. Chicago, which is going into the wind here. This wind is going to be heavy, and it's going right to left on your screen. So it's going to be tough for them early on. Midfield play, Sky Blues got it. The thing is I'm going to guess Chicago won the toss, so to speak, to choose side, because I would imagine you want the wind at your back second half.
Well, not only that, you don't want to concede that first goal on the road, which will really force you to come out of your shell and your shape. So that being said, they're more than happy to try to play a little bit more direct balls as you see that ball is overhit. But once again, for Chicago, the most important thing for them is they cannot concede the first goal tonight, Brett. They need to be able to come out and still be in the game the last 15 minutes to try to get at least a point or 3 points on the road, which will move them up this table in this very early stage of the season. So we have a free kick for the Red Stars. It's going to be Moscato over this one. And these are the types of plays that are very dangerous on a night like this. These whipping curled balls into the 6-yard area. Goalie's got to be very confident, very sure. That ball's played in. Once again, that's lofted in. That ball falls to the Sky Blue defender, and that pops that to Ocampo. Head up. Looks to play to the feet of Devana. Devana, plenty of space, turns. Nice turn there. Now she's got the left-hand side open. Slips one defender, makes that wide pass.
And foul, and its flag is up for offside.
Yeah, and you can see right there, once again, Devana was able to elude her defender. And that's what she's really been good at so far this season, really dropping back into what they call that false number 9 role. Picking the ball up at midfield, turning and facing the defenders, allowing people to run off her. In that case, it was Rampone. She was offside, but needless to say, you can see what Sky Blue is going to try to do, try to get their backs involved into the game tonight, try to force some width on this field.
Chance here for Chicago, 8th minute. And you could see there, that's a perfect example of the win. A nice ball through, though. Shot! Oh, nearly poked home. This is going to go out for, actually, flag is up for an offside. But opportunity there for Chicago there, 8th minute.
Yeah, and Fox was almost on the end of that. You see a full extension there. I like that. Trying to create something in the area, sell your soul in the box, as they would say. But once again, that curling ball outside is what gave Sky Blue the initial trouble. Quick early service. And you can see Fox is going to try to get on those near-post runs, Brett, to try to capitalize on a good low-driven cross on a night like this.
A night that is getting a little more raw as the night goes on. Throw in for Chicago. And they'll look to set things up. Barely kept in, but done so well. And here come the Red Stars. Macer, right side. Takes a look, wants to cross, does so, but it's knocked out for a goal kick. And so Sky Blue avoids a little bit of trouble there in the 9th.
Yeah, Mazur's technique just let her down there, and on a night like this, you really have to be precise with those balls. Trying to pick out Fox there. That ball just went astray on her. So you have to take a little bit more time in your technical passing. Allow yourself to really pick those runners out.
And again, there you can see the wind catching some of that ball. Keepers at the right end there, the parking lot end, are going to really get some leg into it here. And for Sky Blue, it's them in the first half. Ball goes across. Cameron comes off her lines. This gets swept away. It's still not out of the area, though. And now Sky Blue finally will come away with it here in the 10th minute. Brett Luther, Eric Studnicki will be joined shortly by Dan Lauletta down the field. We'll get his perspective on things as this goes out for a throw. Scoreless here, Sky Blue FC and the Chicago Red Stars. Glad you can join us here on YouTube. We're, of course, back at it Saturdays. There is a player down. We'll try to check on who that is. I can't quite tell from here. It appears to be... Is that McCoskey? No, it's it's McCoskey, I think it is. Yep, and she's up and okay.
And you can see what Sky Blue are trying to do is build patiently through the back four. That pass was picked off from O'Hare, but needless to say, you have to try to play out of the back, try to move your team up, pin the Chicago Red Star team back. So good intentions in the opening 15 minutes or so from the Sky Blue team, trying to dictate play, gain possession, move the team forward.
Headed away, and it's going to be a throw-in for Sky Blue FC. Put this one up the line. It's over Adams' head. Played down here, and opportunity for Sky Blue. Johnson goes across. McCoskey has it taken off her foot, but Johnson comes in support. 50-50 is going to go out, and a Sky Blue throw-in.
Yeah, and that ball from O'Hare to McCoskey is a very dangerous one on a night like this, Brett. You don't want to play square balls in the midfield. Technique has to be perfect. If it lets you down, the other team's at your back four, creating a good counter attack opportunity. So look for the midfield play from both teams to be cleaned up a little bit.
This is now midfield. Chicago's got the ball here as I go and put on a jacket because up here in the press box, the wind is really whipping. Although you cannot hear it on the cameras, thankfully. We're high and dry. Dan's a little wet down at field level, though he can't hear us right now. I do believe Sean, though, who will be producing for him, can. And will probably have something to say for me after the game as we've put him out there in the elements. Foul goes against Sky Blue. It'll be a Chicago free kick. In a situation where you have to really put a boot into it for this to be remotely dangerous.
Yeah, these are the type of situations that you do not want to concede. About 35 yards out, forces you to concentrate and to clear your lines. Chicago's going to look to get on the end of something here. Possible flick on, half chance opportunity.
And here's the opportunity here. Put in by Moscato. And it's going to go away. Sky Blue's got it, and it'll send long. Right now, Chicago getting to some 50-50 balls here.
Yeah, you can see that you need to win this game. Playing a high line, a lot of space in between, behind them rather for Adams and Devena to run into if they do lose that ball in that midfield area. But trying to really exert themselves defensively, not allowing either of the forward players to turn so far for Sky Blue, with that one exception of Devena where she received the ball in that midfield area. But when they're in that final third, they're really clasping down, making sure that there's no easy passing lanes or running at the back four.
Chicago with it right now, and they're almost like it looks like they're forming. It almost looks like it's three back here, even though at times it morphs into something else.
Yeah, they're trying to use the width of the field, almost like a 4-2-4 at times. You can see that ball played out to that left-hand side now. Four attackers together, trying to create width and mobility to try to create scoring opportunities. You've seen so far that they really put those wide balls out to Chalupny. So really, at least they're coming out here taking that offensive posture. And as you said, Brett, switching to three at the back when in possession, trying to get that other player into the midfield.
As we all share game notes going on. This is, the typical day up in the broadcast booth. We all share game notes, and Chicago's going to share an opportunity here. Cross, headed away nicely by Johnson.
Yeah, now it's Chalupny again. Quick early cross, back post, but that one's comfortably handled. But once again, you see it's that third time, Brett, that they're able to get down that left-hand side, just putting balls in the six, trying to create scoring opportunities, make the Sky Blue team defend honestly.
As we are in the 15th minute, so momentarily we'll throw it down to Dan Loletta to get his input on things. It's going to be a throw-in for Sky Blue. Taken here by Ocampo. She gets through, but nice job coming off lines in the cloud to gobble that up.
Really nice 1-2 on that edge of the box there with Devena. Little back heel got her through Ocampo, unfortunately for her. Her touch was a little bit too heavy, right into the waiting keeper's arms. But once again, little creativity that we showed before from Devena, able to penetrate with a pass.
This one's going to be sent long. And the wind holding that up. Played around a bit. Chicago Red Stars going forward. And a foul is going to go against Sky Blue FC. And while we got a chance, we'll throw it down. Here is Dan Loletta, hopefully flipping on the microphone.
Hey, guys, to stand down here on the field, you could hardly tell that a nasty storm just ripped through here. And so far from the up-close perch, the field seems to be in pretty good shape as the Sky Blue clears that one out of the box. Field seems to be in pretty good shape, maybe a little bit slick, but all in all, pretty good conditions for a match here at URSAC.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's the thing is we had commented, you see the patches out in the field is this one's calmly gathered. You see the patches out there on the field, you might think it doesn't look that great, but in fact, the pitch is actually not in bad condition at all.
Yeah, for early May in New Jersey, it's in ideal conditions. You couldn't ask for a better grass or natural field at this point of the season, Brett.
This goes wide. Chicago trying to move forward, however, a little too far. And the slickness there does Chicago in a bit. Harsh touch and another one. And some hard touches there midfield, and now Chicago trying to come forward. Johnson wanted the foul, didn't get one. Arms were up saying, what was that? Midfield, Chicago's got it back. On to the feet now of Santa Catarina, number 18, which I'll stumble over that name about 20 times before the night's over. Not that people haven't stumbled over Luthner before.
Absolutely, and she's been one of the culprits for this back four, this Red Stars team, really making some vital mistakes, which have led to these early losses. So look for her to really keep a clean game tonight in terms of her passing, her ability to read the game, and also to make sure that she does not allow penetrating passes or good, quick diagonal runs from any one of the three attacking Sky Blue players, which is really going to be key as this game unfolds, Brett.
One of the things I'm noticing, it is collision just outside the area. Down in a heap is Devana. As Chicago takes over here, let's see if they put this out of play. And in fact, they will. And Devana is down after the collision with McLeod here in the 18th minute. One of the things I'm noticing is the two wide, I guess you want to call them the wide backs. Rachel Kwan, number 11, on the right side, and number 13, Lydia Vandenberg, on the left side. It almost seems to be their backs, but playing up in a midfield capacity from time to time.
Yeah, they know how important it is to get those two wing players into the attack. They're really going for a more offensive tactic. They'll set up, trying to create chances. And that being said, they need to win this game in order to try to climb back up to the table. At these times, you have to take a more offensive stand. As you see, Nevada's helped off the field there. Just a little knock. She'll be okay. But really, this first 20 minutes of this game, Red Stars have really been compact defensively. Haven't allowed any good goal-scoring opportunities for the Sky Blue team. And as a result, they're right where they need to be, 0-0, 19th minute. This is McLeod. And once again, no pressure. High by the Sky Blue team, allowing McLeod to play direct.
Sorry about that little noise there. Something tells me one of our producers, Sean Bretherick, who's literally right below us, is trying to take a little shelter. Although, again, it is scattered. You'll have some clear skies, and then you'll have some rather snarly clouds in the mix. And so we're hoping that this weather holds off. Glad you can join us here on YouTube. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down at field level. We are scoreless here, 19th minute. National Women's Soccer League action. Fourth matchup, and the first between these two squads. Fourth matchup for Sky Blue FC and the Chicago Red Stars. We'll go over some of the early standings and whatnot in a moment. Chicago's issue right now, scoring goals. They've only scored 2 in their 3 matches, lowest in the league along with Seattle, having scored 2 and 4. And Seattle comes in here on Saturday, a game that we will have for you right here on YouTube as well.
Yeah, the league's been about parity so far. A lot of teams of equal capabilities and equal levels. It's really who's going to come out and show that extra fight and desire to try to get goals, try to advance, try to be more positive as opposed to defensive.
And cleared off. However, a little hard touch there behind, and Sky Blue looking for an opportunity. Pass goes across, but well out of the reach of Devana. Now the Red Stars come away with it. This is number 13, Lydia Vandenberg.
Yeah, Schmidt tried to cut that ball back to Devana, who was waiting on top of the 18. Once again, off that Chicago mistake. So we've seen quite a few mistakes already in its early stages of this game. And as I mentioned before, the field playing slick. It's going to really test the players' technical abilities along with their concentration levels.
Rampone, the captain, sends it up. A bouncing ball around, and Chicago will come the other way. And that's a foul, and easily called. McCoskey committing the infraction, and it'll be a free kick, as hitting the deck was Lori Kolupny, number 17. I knew it wasn't Shannon Box because she's injured. Not dressed for Chicago, Shannon Box, Denora Garza, Hannah Gilmore. Not dressed for the Red Stars. Not dressed for Sky Blue FC, Lindsay Lisenby Cutshaw, Jill Lloyden. The two that are not in uniform for the homestanding Sky Blue FC.
You can see that midfield area very congested as the Red Star team tries to play quick 1-2s, unable to do so with the Sky Blue team playing compact.
Comes away, Sky Blue, 3-on-3. Long shot, but that should easily be gathered by McLeod.
Yeah, she had the pass there for Ocampo, who was streaking down that left-hand side. Nevada's got to do better with that. She has the capabilities to slip that pass through for a 1v1 situation. So things starting to open up a little bit for the Sky Blue on the counterattack, and they're being smart, allowing this Red Star team to come to them, soak up their pressure. They realize that they have some pace with Adams and Devana to try to get through, try to create some good goal-scoring opportunities as this game progresses.
Sky Blue on the season, 2 wins, 1 loss, no draws. 6 points on the year, 4 goals scored, 3 allowed. 2 of the 4 by Sophie Schmidt. The other goal scorers, Courtney Goodson, and an own goal that we saw here on the opener, which coincidentally Courtney Goodson set up by putting a toe to a corner kick that was ended up knocked into her own net by Zerboni, McCall Zerboni, as I stumble over the name again. Wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last.
Yeah, that is correct, and it took the league a little bit of time to figure out who that own goal was off. Indeed, it was Zerboni.
As we play on, our referee Mednikov allows play to resume here. And that's a little bit of a harsh tackle, and foul's going to go against Chicago. And Goodson wasn't too thrilled with the challenge as well. The 2 goal scorers on the season for Chicago is Zakaya Bywaters and Lori Kolupny.
As that ball is played out of bounds by Sky Blue. Quick throw for the Chicago Red Stars. That ball's held up.
As we continue to try to work on production elements over here. Glad you can join us here. We are in the 24th minute of a scoreless game here. Chicago Red Stars and Sky Blue FC. In what is not ideal weather conditions in the area and won't be for a while. Seattle might feel at home on Saturday night because they're going to come in and it's going to be a little... we understand the weather on Saturday is supposed to be severe. Heavy rain most of the day, which is going to make this pitch very difficult to play on. And while we're at it, this one comes across. While we're at it, as a player, what's it like when you have to play on, in harsh conditions like that, with heavy rain or a very soggy pitch?
Well, there's a saying, if you can't play in the rain, you can't play. It tests your ability to focus technically and tactically. So these levels of these girls playing here are world class. No excuses for mistakes, but you really have to make sure you take the extra touch. You don't try to connect that 4 to 5 yard pass. You hit the longer 8 to 10 yard pass. It guarantees safety. So you don't want to let your teammates down by a mistake that leads to a goal. So all these athletes out here are going to be very conscious of that this evening, trying to make sure that the most important thing that they do is stay focused to make sure that they do not make a mistake that leads to a goal.
Rampone straight with that delivery and headed away as my window is starting to fog up. One of the things when the weather outside is frightful, I will be dancing around in the broadcast booth for most of this night, and probably everybody else up here are going to look at me and wonder what's wrong with me. What's wrong is sometimes we can't see. And what's wrong is if you're a Sky Blue fan, you're in the defensive third. Although swept away nicely by Rampone. It's going to be a throw-in and last touch by Chicago.
Yeah, and you see Moscato starting to get free also on that left-hand flank. Played off of Fox. So really they have to get someone closer to Fox as this game goes on. So she has something to combine with. Very easy for the Sky Blue back four to really isolate now on Fox and make sure she doesn't receive balls into her feet, able to turn and make passes. That being said, they've done an excellent job. So the Chicago team really is going to try to throw players forward as this ball's turned over in the midfield once again by Chicago Red Stars.
And Sky Blue, they're getting the turnovers but not able to really mount much pressure going forward as a result of it, because Chicago is doing a good job clogging passing lanes right now.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job, as they say, holding their lanes, making sure they're clearing their lines, staying compact. At times it's been 3 when in possession with the ball. Without it, it's been 4, as this ball is going to be played direct. But once again, there is some space for this Sky Blue midfield to pick up the ball and run at the back four. They just have to be able to make a good individual play in order for that to happen as this game goes on.
This one sent all the way back to McLeod to play by one of her defenders, and she's sending everybody along. So we have about 20 people right around the center circle. Wind has died down a little bit, which may help the teams going left to right. Chicago in this case. They have it here on the foot of Mesa, number 3. Slides around to keep possession of the ball, only momentarily, then turns it back over, and Sky Blue looks to come away through the feet of their number 16, Sophie Schmidt. Devana is going to play it back. And now Johnson plays long. Towed down. They'll regather. Up the line. It's going to go out for a Chicago throw. Last touched by Friel's number 17.
Yeah, and that's something that neither team's been able to establish, Brett. That up, back, and through, playing the ball in the forwards' feet, laying that ball off, and then another direct ball into the space. Really tough to play in the congested midfield as this game has been played thus far. And as you mentioned before, those technical qualities that you need to play in the rain in these weather conditions have really prohibited that 20 or 30-yard killer pass to allow one of either teams to really get in between the spaces and get at the goal.
Santa Catarina was not happy that the decision went against her on the throw and decided to take a jog with the ball a little bit.
Yeah, her frustration starting to show. This is a team that, as I said, is at the bottom of the table. They haven't conceded yet, but as this game goes on, they're going to have to try to come out more and more to go ahead and get that offensive goal, leaving them vulnerable at the back.
We hope not to hear, as I saw flash photography, we hope not to hear the lightning siren that went off during warm-ups, because that would that'll put a stop to play for a little while. 29th minute. And we'll send it back down once again momentarily. This one played through. And foul's going to go against Chicago. Good job there. I do believe, I couldn't quite see the number. And when Eric talks again.
Yeah, that was Chalupny streaking on through there off of Falk. So
it was Chalupny going through, but who was defending? It wasn't Rampone. I couldn't quite make out the number, though. Partially, it was Goodson, number 2.
Yeah, it was Goodson who, good shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, not a foul. Stay strong.
No. Very well to keep her to keep her position, if you will.
Absolutely,
No.
And there it's just about the commitment and desire that you want to make that challenge, not being afraid.
Not a good opportunity played through and settled down here by McLeod.
Yeah, Ocampo there couldn't quite control it. Her first touch got away from her a little bit. But needless to say, she's got to be more involved in this game, Brett, to try to really bring the midfield into it. You can see now Adams and Devana have dropped off of her. Ocampo, once again, up there against the back four of the Chicago Red Stars team. So look for her to try to create space, find ways to receive balls.
Yeah. Played long and then right to the waiting arms of Brittany Cameron, who will pull this one down and calmly take a look. Fakes the distribution to the left. And will now play forward with a foot. 30th minute, about to hit the 31st. This one goes to McLeod through a foot, though. She's going to have to kick it out. Midfield play. Now long, this flag stays down. Opportunity here for Chicago. Moving forward is Julianne Sitch, number 19, former Sky Blue FC player. Puts one across. Getting a piece of it was Cameron. Still the opportunity for Chicago. Another cross is knocked away, intended for Mason, number 3. Sky Blues got it. A little back heel, and they'll settle it down. Our next stoppage, we will go down to Dan Loletta, who's got some more insight on what's going on field level. In the meantime, 31st minute of a scoreless match here at Ursec. And turned on over. Chicago Trying to play it forward, and it'll only get as far as the back line. Now it'll come all the way back to Cameron. Now it is Rampone. Rampone takes a look. A little touch passing here. And a deflected attempt. Sky Blue might have an attack going on, but another deflected pass attempt. Come away only momentarily. Sky Blue's still with it. That's long, a little too far. And while we have a chance, we'll send it down to the field. Dan Laletta with more insight. Okay, Dan's microphone's not in right now, so we'll go back to him in a moment. Hopefully Sean can get down there and help him fix it. But Dan's mic is off right now, and hopefully we can get that back. 32nd minute. Yeah, this is a throw-in for Chicago.
Hey fans, the market is taking off. And Market Realtors can help you reach your real estate goal.
Sky Blue with it.
Pro is the perfect choice to net the house of your dreams or the assist on a sale.
Back now, it's Rampone. Goes to Johnson. Adams. Try to go back for Johnson, but it gets knocked off her feet. And Chicago in possession once again. Up the line, Sitch. Midfield taken away. Good job there by Friels to create the turnover. And now Sky Blue looking to come in the other direction. Ocampo. And this one goes off of her and for a free kick. And so we'll try it again. Let's see if his microphone's working this time. We'll try once again. Yeah, maybe not. So we're still working on it. Still working on the technical difficulty down there on the sideline. And so hopefully we can get him back working soon. Midfield knocked off. Chance here for Sky Blue FC. However, not able to control Schmidt, and Chicago comes the other way. Knocked around. Sitch has got it. Sitch right sideline. Goes, plays forward. Flag's going to go up. That's offside. Mesa was offside by a good yard and a half, 2 yards.
Yeah, and that's another spell of play on this right-hand side from Sitch, Brett, which they're really trying to get her more involved, trying to have her pick up the ball in different areas, provide crosses. That time, feeding a pass through to the offside, streaking forward. But needless to say, this last 10 minutes or so, Chicago really hasn't tried to attack as much as they did in these opening stages. And now we can go down to the field if you're ready.
We'll try to go down to the field again. Let's see if Dan can go now. No, once again, we're having technical difficulties with the microphone, so we'll bring him up at halftime then and see if that works out. But right now, some technical difficulties with the field microphone, which is nothing to be surprised about considering the weather that we have here.
Yeah, and here's a dangerous situation here, Brett. Adams is going to stand over this, and as I mentioned before, going to try to provide that ball into the 6-yard box. Looking for Rampone perhaps to get on the end of it. Perhaps Schmidt. And that ball's played across, headed into the safe hand.
Sorry about that. As we're trying to figure all sorts of stuff out. So once again, we'll try to get Dan up here for halftime because I'm sure he's got some things that he's seen down in the field that we don't quite see from up here. Now you coach too, so it's a different perspective. This one comes through. We'll get that in a moment. Cameron's going to come out for it, but it's a different perspective down the field as opposed to up here in the box.
Yeah, when you see things eye level, you're able to see the speed of play a little bit better. Here you're able to see the game develop, where players are running. But for me, this Chicago team in this last 10 minutes, as I said, has really dropped off on their attack, really have run out of ideas, and that's something that they're probably just satisfied with, Brett, going into this halftime with a 0-0 score as this game goes on.
Played midfield and now back. And again, you're seeing Chicago, you know they have two for certain back, and then it sort of morphs after that, a little amoeba-like. So, played forward, Adams. Ooh, goes across, still a chance here. Ocampo couldn't pull it down. Cleared away to Johnson.
And that was good cover by the Chicago back four. Once again, closing down on Ocampo, not allowing her to get that shot off.
Long to Rampone, who was making a run on the left side, but she couldn't head it down to herself. Instead, it goes out for a goal kick. 37th minute here.
Yeah, that's a tough technique for Rampone there. Her pace didn't allow her to take that down and get a shot on goal. But needless to say, you really like that surging run coming from the back, trying to get involved. So far, this Red Star team has really been able to solve the problems that Sky Blue have thrown at them offensively.
37th minute here. Scoreless match. Sky Blue FC and the Chicago Red Stars, who in seasons past have both worn the same colors of light blue, which on occasion became a problem when they were here. Sky Blue back then would wear their orange. No orange right now. And now Chicago's got it. Kolupny. She's going to play back onto the feet of Vandenberg. Turned it over, and now Sky Blue comes the other way. And if they move right, they'll have some numbers here. 4v4. Not the right option. A little bit too hard on the touch. Ocampo was nowhere close to that one.
Yeah, and it's that final pass, once again, that's really let both teams down here in this opening half so far. Tough to play that 30-yard ball to a streaking runner into space. So far, the back two, the center backs, Hemmings and Moscato for the Chicago team, have really done a good job at keeping this Sky Blue attack at bay, not allowing them free runs, not allowing them to get in on goal. And as a result, they have to be very happy so far, Brett, with where this game stands in almost the 40th minute with not conceding, which has really been their Achilles heel.
And there really haven't been many scoring opportunities, like dangerous opportunities in this match. It's been a lot of midfield play early on, not too much in the way of danger.
Yeah, and you see both teams really just trying to get to halftime without going down a goal. And a lot of times in the second half, you'll see which coach is going to come out and make some tactical changes, going to change the way that they play.
Played forward, Sky Blue, hoping to get an opportunity here. It's Denisha Adams, left side. Tries to cut over. Good job defending, but Adams sticks with it. Sends a ball across, trying to get it. Played down. Oh, nice defensive play there, clearing off the line. However, still in possession. Ooh, Ford tried to play it through. Just a little too harsh there. 39th minute, about to hit the 40th, and we're still scoreless.
Yeah, once again, trying to play those 1-2 balls. Difficult on a night like this. Sky Blue need to opt for a little bit more direct play. Use the pace of Adams and Devana to keep these teams honest in the back. Allow the defenders to turn their backs and really keep up with a foot race with those two players. So perhaps that's some of the changes they can make in the second half. Try to play some longer passes, get more involved, as opposed to trying to build up, which has really let both teams down.
And now played away.
So Sky Blue just starting to assert some pressure here.
And it's the first time really we've seen sustained pressure.
Yeah, they're trying to keep this Red Stars team on their back heels, trying to move up the field, not allow them to get out of this midfield area. As you see, that ball's turned over again, but a foul's going to be called, which is really important, trying to gain field position as this game goes on, building confidence, which will spring midfield attacks from Schmidt, allow Adams, Devana to really get a little freer role as this game goes on in the second half.
Going to be played long here by McLeod and everybody. Let's see how. Let's see, 6 white jerseys and just as many navy blue jerseys and a foul. This is going to be a dangerous area now. Rampone not happy with the call. Foul's going to go against her. Folks drew it. And so now a dangerous opportunity here just outside the penalty area about 21 yards out, figure.
Yeah, great opportunity here. As you mentioned before, good
25 yards out.
good call for that foul by Falks. He was able to draw an opponent to that silly challenge there. And once again, as I mentioned before, that lack of concentration is what causes these set pieces, which are very dangerous in a game of this magnitude.
Couple of ladies looking to step up on it. Looks like it's going to be Kolupny. She does and blasts it over the bar.
Yeah, very disappointing for Kolupny there. You'd expect more from her, a player of her capabilities, Brett. Got to keep that ball low, driven on the ground. Make the goalie make the save as opposed to poor technique, sailing that ball over the crossbar. And as this game goes on, those are the types of chances that you can see the Red Stars are going to really have to rely on as their offense really has come to a standstill.
Played up in the air. Chicago looking to come forward. And a little bundling from behind, but no foul called. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Sky Blue FC, 42nd minute. About to hit the 43rd minute of a very unusual weather day here. It's been raining in the New York, New Jersey area most of the day. We even had a lightning warning during warm-ups here, but as this one's offside, the flag has gone up and stays up right now. And the referee is allowing this to play on. And finally, Mednikov looked over. Juliana Duncan had her flag up for a good 15 seconds before Mednikov finally looked over.
Yeah, they're playing hockey style, delayed offside calls now. And a lot of times they allow the play to progress until they're definitive that indeed the runner was offside, that being the case in that situation.
Now Sky Blue looking to come forward.
As hopefully we're doing a mic test on this in the process. Sky Blue FC coming forward here. Good chance. Moving forward. Shot. Oh, just over the bar. Good opportunity there by number 3, Ella Macer, but it ends up being a goal kick.
Yeah, good job there by Mazer. She picked that ball up in the midfield area, started to run it to back 4, went to the right-hand side of the box, wasn't able to keep that ball low enough, but needless to say, you could see those knockdowns and flicked off balls from Falks are really going to lead to some dangerous situations. That's really been the bread and butter so far for this Chicago team in that first half.
44th minute, and the goal kick. It's actually out now. It'll be a throw-in for the Chicago Red Stars, much to the chagrin of Johnson. And we keep on going.
And again, that just served as a mic check right there. Played blocked. As we continue to try to work on the technical elements here, we apologize for that. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki. We're trying to fix the microphone of one Dan Lauletta. Ball through. Devana's going to try to run onto this one. Devana beating Kwan to the ball. Sends one across. It's headed away, and then will be further played out by Kwan. 45th minute as we're nearing stoppage time.
And that's really the first time in this first half that we've seen that injection of pace from Devana on the left-hand flank, really causing trouble. Unfortunately for her, she wasn't able to put enough weight on that cross for the streaking Adams. But once again, you see what her dangerous situations are on the flanks, running at defenders.
Played down. Sky Blue looking to come forward here. McCoskey. And the horn goes off, and Muskoski took a shot that's saved. The horn goes off, no stoppage time. So pretty much this is it for the half. So, and in fact, that will conclude the first half. You heard the horn go off. I guess they forgot to turn the horn off. Halftime here, and our score is 0-0, 0-0 if you will. Sky Blue FC in Chicago. McCoskey finally got a good shot off there at the end of the half. Only we turned aside by McLeod.
Yeah, and they always say, Brett, play right into the last whistle of the referee. In that case, luckily for Chicago, they were able to smother that ball up. But as you mentioned before, 0-0 at halftime. Really both teams filling each other out still, not really able to establish an attacking rhythm, getting numbers forward, really allowing themselves to set the attacking tone that they wanted to. But a good result if you're the visiting team. 0-0 at halftime, you go in confident. Now you come up 15, 20 minutes, defend, and then try to go to get an equalizer or a winning goal towards that last 15 minutes of the game.
So we've come to the end of the first half here. We'll take a little pause on YouTube. We'll microphone down, if you will. Halftime here at your Sac Field. Our score: Sky Blue FC 0 and Chicago Red Stars 0. Back after a moment here on Ustream.
Okay, folks, Oscar Castillo will go for $10,000. Single shot right halftime contest. Let's hear it for Oscar. Oh, Oscar, that was real close. Great try. A special thanks to Single Shot Rights, proud sponsor of Sky Blue FC and the $10,000 grocery challenge. And a special announcement, folks. Our in the booth, our play-by-play guy, Eric Studnicki, and his wife Jennifer gave birth to twins this week. Let's hear it for Eric and Jennifer Studnicki. Eric's our play-by-play announcer here in the booth.
Come on, ID.
Halftime here. Our score is 0-0 between Chicago and Sky Blue FC. Right now, Dan Lauletto with a guest here at halftime.
Thanks, Brett. I'm here with UNAS national team head coach Tom Sermani. Tom, welcome to your Sac Field.
It's good to be here.
How are you enjoying your first few months on the job with the national team?
It's been really good so far. The trouble with the NWSL is I think I've been a bit of a kiss of death with the weather. The rain seems to follow me around, but no, the first few months have been really good, and it's been probably a good time to take over, where there is a bit of time to assess players. There's no pressure on in the sense of a major competition coming up, so all going smoothly so far.
In terms of NWSL, I'm sure you get this question every week whenever you go, but what do you think of the league so far, and specifically, what elements of play are you pleasantly surprised at?
Well, I think the first thing is that all the teams I've seen have actually tried to come out and play good soccer. Keep the ball on the ground, pass the ball around. I think the other thing is that all the teams I've seen so far have been competitive, and all the games have been competitive. So every team has been in the game for certain periods of time, and there hasn't been any blowouts so far, or any team that's really, a couple of stronger teams, but no team that's really been completely and utterly dominant so far.
You've got 3 friendlies coming up in June, and there's one player on each of these teams injured, but on the way back. Shannon Box for Chicago, Jill Lloyden for Sky Blue. What are the chances of either or both of those players?
Jill, just the other day we got good news about Jill, that she's now back virtually in full training. Her hand has healed well enough and she's back handling the ball, so she should be back, probably ready to play next week, I would think. Boxy, a little bit different. She's had a scope in her knee last week. But it's not something that we want to rush. Very unlikely for the Canada game. In fact, virtually no for the Canada game, I would think. A possibility for the South Korean games.
Tom, I appreciate you joining us. Tom Samani, head coach of the U.S. national team.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, Eric and I and Dan will go over first half action here. 0-0 between Sky Blue FC and Chicago Red Stars. Back after this here on YouTube.
microphones back up, it would be a good thing. Teams coming back out for the start of the second half. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Laletta here. Scoreless at halftime. We got the coach down the field. Now as we just find out from our producer, we'll try to get that audio back up. But thank you to Coach Gabara for that. Second half underway. We do have a substitution into the game. And O'Hara, as we're hearing on the loudspeaker, Ocampo out, Kelly O'Hara checks into the match, and we are underway here in the second half. Sky Blue in their Navy uniforms are going from left to right now. And the Chicago Red Stars, white jerseys and socks, light blue.
But that ball is cut off very well by that Chicago Red Star back four.
And now Chicago's going to come the other way.
See, and that's what I was talking about before about Falks being too isolated there. 45 yards away from the goal is where they want her. She had to come too deep to receive that. No support. And another errant pass. So really the Sky Blue team has done their homework on how this Red Star team likes to operate through the middle. Really frustrating. Falks not allowing her to get that service into her feet. Pin up.
Adams tried to give the forward. It misses. And instead, Kolupny's got it. And it goes out for a throw-in. Ford's going to throw it back in, and now on it is Goodson. Let's see if anybody else is going to come on. Right now, neither coaches chosen any other substitutes other than the first one, O'Hara for Ocampo. As we are in the 67th minute now, and here comes an opportunity for Chicago. And now they have to pull up. Numbers back for Sky Blue. However, a secondary wave has brought the attack forward for Chicago. This one goes across and is going to go out for a corner kick. Second one of the evening for Red Stars. Sky Blue have two as well.
Yeah, now you see this game trying to open up a little bit. Both teams trying to get those wing backs streaking forward. It's going to come down to a quality service at the end. Can they provide either one of their goal scorers with a good opportunity? You saw Chalupny moments ago. Brett just had a great opportunity. World-class save made there.
This one is going to be swung in, bounced around, and going to come away. Send it back into the mixer, head and knocked away. Still an opportunity here for Chicago as they continue to put the pressure on. Finally, it comes away towards the middle third. And some jostling there for the ball. It's going to go out. Trying to get to it was Kelly O'Hara, but unsuccessful as she was fought off by Kolupny.
Yeah, that was a good challenge here. Once again, shoulder to shoulder. Match the effort.
And again, some physical play there as players trying to jostle for possession. And once again, Chicago earns the throw-in. Not this time. Oh, yes, this time. As I'm going to say, it was last touched by a Sky Blue player, that one being Ford.
Yeah, and Chicago's quite happy just to walk the ball up the field.
Let's see what happens here. Now played forward as I muted myself for a second. Go ahead and make comments. Substitution coming on as this one goes out. First one for Chicago into the game is going to be their number 8, Jessica McDonald. And coming out of the game is number 15, Lauren Folks. So Folks not able to get much going this evening, and on comes McDonald in her place.
Yeah, let's see what McDonald brings to this team. Very pacey forward, really working the passing lanes, trying to close down, put the Sky Blue back four under pressure.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. Still scoreless here. 69th minute, about to hit the 70th. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down at field level. It's not been the greatest weather in this area, and it has wreaked havoc with a lot of stuff, including the start of the game, which was pushed back a bit. So we apologize for the technical difficulties. And the scoring difficulties as well, as neither team have really fashioned much of an opportunity. One good save on each end. Erin McLeod made one on Manya McCoskey to end the first half. And then Brittany Cameron had to come up big after a moment of indecision to turn aside Lori Kolupny here in the second half about 10 minutes ago. We're in the 70th right now, and still no one has found the back of the net. Some touch passing here. Chicago trying to go long. They've found a player forward. Good job cutting out. Trying to find forward Jessica McDonald, number 8, who's just come on, had some speed, but it was cut away by, of course, the captain. That being Christy Rampone.
Yeah, great read there by Rampone. As I mentioned before, McDonald brings that pace to the game, which is really her key asset. They're able to read where that pass was going, playing the feet. Very well done, world class, as expected by Rampone, who's really had a quite comfortable game tonight. Hasn't really been tested that often. Her partnership with Goodson's been very good so far this evening.
McCoskey, not able to read the hop there. And it's going to go for a throw-in. Devana couldn't control. Headed around. Devana's got to have another opportunity. Lisa Devana taking on defenders, gets held up, and no foul is going to be called. And Devana not too pleased with the referee's decision.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do with a pacey player like Devana. Get your body on them, create contact. Don't allow them free runs at the goal. So you see right there, two center backs always surrounded Devana, not allowing her to get towards the frame of the goal.
Let's switch the field now. Coming over to the right side. Ford plays it on ahead. On it now is number 19, Kelly O'Hara, and she turns it over. And then McCoskey plays forward. Chicago clearing away into the Sky Blue half. And mishandled there, so having to give chase was Goodson. Oh, check that. That was Rampone. Couldn't quite see her bright cleats on the turn there. It's going to go for Chicago. And you can hear the displeasure from the crowd here.
Yeah, O'Hara there was guilty, leading with the elbow. Referee saw that, definitely infraction.
Once again, Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta at field level. Nicole Rossi on the camera tonight doing a great job. And Sean Bretherick helping produce the broadcast here. From your Sack Field, scoreless Sky Blue FC and the Chicago Red Stars in the 73rd minute. But Chicago, opportunity, crosser, and it's knocked away. Dangerous opportunity there, but no harm as it doesn't get towards the frame.
Yeah, Mazer couldn't connect on that. Good crosshair by McDonald.
And now Sky Blue looking to counter in the other direction. Chance here. Devana couldn't get a touch on it. Good job there defensively by Kwan. Sends it back to her keeper, who has to clear away. Now Adams. Denisha Adams. Not quite going to test anybody from that far out.
Yeah, and once again, another case of Adams just letting herself down. Had a few passes that she could have made there. Once again, as this game goes on, Sky Blue's going to try to be a little bit more frustrated with the way that this Red Star team is just concentrating on defending. And as you can see, that case there, Adams takes the ill-advised 30-yard shot. Really not going to cause any trouble for any goalkeeper at this level.
And player down for Chicago, which while we're at it, as we're getting close to the 75th minute, and we would do our normal throwdown to Dan Lauletta, let's send it down to the field right now. Dan, your thoughts after 75 minutes here. What do you got? If you can hear us. Dan, go ahead.
We wait for the game to continue. It's like Scott Jim Gaber's desire to not sit quite so deep, but they're not really creating too many chances. McLeod in goal for the Red Stars has yet to be
This one gets played away. McLeod's got it. And the point there, McLeod hasn't really been tested, except for that one at the end of the first half. Haven't really tested her here. And I think Gabarra wants his troops, the point is, to push forward, get some offensive creativity going on. Maybe they'll get some here. As onto it goes Adams. Will she get to it? She puts a touch ahead. Adams moves in towards the penalty area. Swings one across and just over the head. Trying to get a head onto it was O'Hara. Now back on the other side. We'll put it back into the mixer again. Now O'Hara does get ahead to it this time, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, nice flurry there by Sky Blue, Brett. Adams, O'Hara, really trying to create something, using their pace, using their energy, trying to whip crosses into the area, trying to get on the end of something, which this game really needs in order for them to get these 3 points as this game comes to an end. They need that excitement factor, somebody who's going to inject a little bit of pace and power to try to get them that first goal that they're going to need, which will probably be a game winner if it comes for either one of these teams at this stage of the game.
And substitution there, Taryn Hemmings, who was injured just a moment ago, she comes off, and on comes Michelle Wanino, number 23. So that's 2 now for Chicago. They have 1 substitute remaining, and Jim Gabarra still has 2 at his disposal. Played forward, and now Vandenberg with it. Up the line, going to be sent further, and again, this one stays in, so Goodson's got to go play back to her keeper, Brittany Cameron.
Yeah, that's an important interception there by Goodson. Really showing calm on the ball, her ability to make the pass negative. You really need to use your goalkeeper now, especially if you're playing a higher line, trying to go for the victory. But once again, you see what McDonald and this Sky Blue team, or excuse me, in this Chicago Red Star, are really just content now in the 75th minute, keeping compact, keeping their shape, not allowing Sky Blue to get in at goal. And as a result, it's going to be very hard in this last 15 minutes for Sky Blue to try to get that first and all-important goal.
Now, this will bring Sky Blue and Chicago both at 4 games, and if it wasn't for the tragic events in Boston and, of course, the city shutting down, Boston and Kansas City would also be on 4, as their game had to be postponed as a result of the travel restrictions. So that'll be made up at a later date, and then everybody will get caught up. Eventually, everybody's got to play 22 anyway. Chicago on the throw, and this one's going to be cleared away. 77th minute. And finally, just now, someone put the scoreboard to half number 2. Chicago moving forward here, trying to get that first goal and then really clamp down. Sky Blue turns the other way. It's Devanna. Devanna's got some speed. She's turned the corner. Lisa Devanna tries to play one across into the area. It's knocked away. Well defended. And that was a clumsy foul.
Yeah, great pace there by Devanna, trying to play that ball to O'Hara to get on the end of it. But that's what they need. They need that change of pace, change of direction, the ability for her to go forward to try to create something in this final stages to get that goal. But once again, this Red Star team that's been maligned, their back 4 for the first 3 games have really done a very good job so far, keeping Devanna for the most part at bay, not allowing her to really cause chaos as she's done in the first 3 games of this young season. So kudos to them. Only thing is they have to keep that for the next 15 minutes in the stoppage time, Brett.
Do you think, as this one gets played away, not too well, but still gets the job done, do you think that pass was made too soon?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But on a night like this, you want to, as I mentioned before, make the defender make a decision, make them make the play. And she tried for that curling ball in behind for O'Hara. She's able to hit it, so she does that at a professional level. So that's the ball that you need to play. 8 times out of 10, she's able to make that pass a little bit more accurate.
Devanna, she can turn the corner. Trying to here. Devanna then crosses. Waiting on the other end of it, bundling it out of play was Sophie Schmidt, trying to get her 3rd of the season.
Yeah, and Schmidt right there, coming from that deeper midfield role, getting into the box. And once again, as we just mentioned before, Devanna is starting to wake up. Last 10 or 15 minutes of this game really needs to try to assert herself. She is their most dangerous player in terms of creativity and mobility for the Sky Blue team. So continue for her to surge forward as this game comes to its conclusion.
Sky Blue trying to push forward here. Good job tackling the ball off. And Chicago trying to come forward. Oh, an unlucky bounce, and Macer's got it. Gives it on across Kolupny. Kolupny from distance! That didn't miss by much. Goal kick, Sky Blue.
Yeah, and Kolupny there. Unfortunately for her, she couldn't keep that ball low enough to really put a threat on the Sky Blue goal, but it was really Ford there who went in for a soft tackle on the sideline. You really have to put your foot through the ball, Brett, at this stage of the game. Wet conditions, you have to be 100% sure and committed. Luckily for Ford, it didn't cost Sky Blue a goal.
And now coming the other way, we're starting to pick up the pace here. Cross, and it's going to be pawed away by McLeod and then further played out. Johnson now waiting for it. Left side, Johnson trying to work over her defender. Tries to play one across, gets knocked around, and now he might have him caught. Played down. Crowd wants handball, none given. McCoskey tries to win it and does so. Played through. Opportunity here for O'Hara. O'Hara! Well, now we've had opportunities at each end in the last minute here. 81st minute as of right about now, and we're still scoreless.
Yeah, nice run there by O'Hara. Able to get to that right-hand side. Can't get that shot on frame. Great opportunity once again. So you see Sky Blue now starting to simmer, create opportunities that were really missing in these first 75 minutes or so. Let's see if they can keep their foot on the gas to try to get this go-ahead goal at this stage.
The go-ahead goal would be huge. We are still scoreless here at Ursac. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Loletta down on the field. And the whole cast here trying to see if we can get ourselves a goal. We still haven't found one, although in the last minute or so, business is picked up, as I like to say. And a substitution coming on. One for each side. We see Taylor Little, number 6, and Alyssa Mutz, number 4, for Sky Blue. Oh, nice job there by Cameron going up and getting that long delivery. For those substitutions for Sky Blue and Chicago, respectively, they'll be coming on next whistle. But Ford trying to do something about a goal right here. Ford with a great run. Ford still moving. Ford in! Posted out! Crossbar, I should say. Rebound knocked aside. It's going to stay in. Yes, it will. Crossbar on a great run by Caitlin Ford. This goes out for a throw-in. And down on the turf, possibly cramping up there, is Erin McLeod. Wow, what an opportunity.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, it's going to take that individual brilliance to unlock this game, and Ford showed it there. Made a great penetrating run through that central area of the field, able to nutmeg one of the back four of the Red Stars. Got the ball past the oncoming goalie, but unfortunately for her, the crossbar keeps her out. So once again, you see this Sky Blue initiative starting to really bear some fruit. In that case, Ford with a very dynamic run, something that this game so desperately needs.
Well, this will be the last substitution for Chicago once we get it. It has not been given yet. Sky Blue is still with it. Chance here, O'Hara just couldn't control. It gets swiped away. It's going to stay in play and sent further up the field. Glorious run by Caitlin Ford, and nearly had it pay off. And now we'll get ourselves some substitutions. First, we're going to get both of them. For Sky Blue, off will come number 17, Katie Friels. Number 18, Jackie Santa Catarina, will come off for Chicago. And we just said Santa Catarina off. And on comes Alyssa Motz.
Number 18, Jackie Santa Catarina in the game. Number 4, Alyssa Motz.
And for Sky Blue, they'll officially announce it in a moment.
And Sky Blue substitution. Out of the game, number 17, Katie Friels. In the game, number 6, Taylor Lytle.
So it's Taylor Lytle. My apologies. Lytle onto the game now. And so Sky Blue's got one left substitution and none remaining for Chicago, as we're in minute number 84 here at Ursac on a very damp day. It rained most of the day. And again, we had a thunderstorm delay here earlier on, but then they got everybody back out there for more warm-ups, and we got started about 10 minutes later than expected. Played forward. Here's an opportunity forward and just not able to put down a touch. Was O'Hara. Was that O'Hara or was that? No, that wasn't.
That was Devana, and she's
Devana,
becoming
okay.
very lively once again. Unfortunately for her, that ball just skipped away from her on the wet pitch, but needless to say, has really come alive to serve as that spark plug.
A couple more of the same cleats, and that's what I thought it was. So.
Yeah, that's the style, the fluorescent boots these days. Players love them, from youth to pro.
And everything in between, including some casual adult leagues. Denise Adams can't get to this one. Neither can McCoskey on the clearing. A lot of people can't get to the ball now as it's sliding away from them. Chanson here for O'Hara. O'Hara cuts it back to her left. Tries to put it in with the left, and it gets blocked away. Out for a throw. 85th minute here at Ursac. Still scoreless, although as business has picked up in the last 5 or 6 minutes, as both sides have threatened here in Piscataway.
Yeah, and for me, Sky Blue is really going for the victory here. They realize what a good position this could put them in if they're able to secure 3 points in this last 5 minutes. Chicago's going to probably tend to take a little bit more of a defensive stance, get the point, go home. You've done well.
Chance here now. Lytle, her first touches. Shot goes over the bar. That one taken by Johnson.
Yeah, and Johnson there. Wish she had that one back. She had time to take a touch, shoot that ball low and on frame, lead to a good scoring opportunity. So that's the second or third time that, Johnson, a few of the other Sky Blue midfielders have really let chances go by the wayside. And now on a night like this where Chicago's coming and taking that defensive posture, very important for them to capitalize. They're going to get one more chance, though, Brett. Can they capitalize, get a goal, secure 3 points?
Knocked around. It's going to nearly a high kick there. It's going to be a Sky Blue throw-in. And Ford takes it. Ford has come the closest to putting one in the net. Bar and out instead of bar down. Bar downs are always good. Bar outs, not so much. Ford throws it back in. O'Hara tries to turn, plays forward to the left foot, gets cut out. And instead, Ford's got it again. Does well to get around one, and that was Macer. Couldn't get around a second with a harsh touch. It comes back out. And Rampone fakes it, pulls it down, plays it forward. Tried to find Devana. Instead, Johnson's got it. McCoskey. Back across to Goodson. Goodson looks at her options. One of them didn't touch it too well, and instead out for a throw-in. Schmidt couldn't get on the end of it.
Yeah, costly turnover there. Nice spell of possession. And that's what we were talking about, that fine line of technical ability on a night like this. You have to be secure in your passing and receiving techniques at one. Both of them just let down a little bit.
Couple players trying to run onto this one. First one, Devana. Johnson continues to run up the sideline, and Devana promptly touches it out of play. Again, a lot of harsh touches here with the slick turf. And I think you're seeing that tonight. Denisha Adams goes for a tumble, and it's going to be a free kick for Sky Blue FC. And Adams almost did a cartwheel.
Yeah, when you have that congested midfield, both teams playing 4 across, that's really what happens. Lack of passing, lack of creativity have really staggered both sides. So let's see if Rampone can get something in here on this set-piece opportunity to create something for Sky Blue.
Now, we see Brittany Cameron to our left. Akers off her line as this one gets played in. Headed around, punched out by McLeod, settled. Johnson, cross, score! 88th minute. Sky Blue has finally broken the seal of the goal. 1-0, the home side.
And as I mentioned before, that's what it was going to take off a set piece. Great opportunity there off the cross. Clinical finish, 1-0 Sky Blue. So really, they've deserved it this last 10 minutes, really setting bodies forward, Brett, trying to create something. It's been a scrappy game, not much soccer in terms of the ability to play out of the back and play possession soccer, but needless to say, a huge goal.
And this is played down now, dangerous opportunity. And not handball, but Sophie Schmidt gets her third of the season. And, of course, as we were saying, though, the Johnson service right there really helped out. And here comes Sky Blue again, up 1-0. So third of the season for Schmidt. Johnson gets the assist for Johnson. That's her first assist of the season. And it comes in the 88th minute, just at the edge of the 88th minute. We're now in the 90th, and we'll see how much stoppage time comes after that. But a huge goal for Sky Blue FC. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, and for Johnson, you do what you're told to. You put that ball back post. Schmidt was lurking there. Easy head.